In Minecraft 1.17 Survival, Dripstone isn't just used as a decorative block, you can use it to kill mobs too. It's really useful, and I'm going to show you an infinite dripstone farm that is resource efficient and will give you loads of dripstone over time that you can use for all of your builds. Works in Minecraft 1.18.2, don't you go anywhere. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance, in my Minecraft 1.17 farm tutorial series. Today, I'm making you a dripstone farm that doesn't require a flying machine. Now what's really important about dripstone is it takes ages to grow. One is growing there. It takes about 5 in-game days for one of these to grow one block. It literally is that slow. So the best way to get a good dripstone farm is to have many dripstones growing at once. However, the problem with that with some of the other dripstone farms that are out there on YouTube at the moment is that they are very resource intensive. Each dripstone requires 2 pistons and 2 observers in order for you to be able to collect it. This one uses half that much. Less resources means it's a lot easier to make a larger farm. This farm doesn't just have these 16 dripstone stations, it's got another 16 on the other side, making 32 sites of growth for your dripstone, which is going to increase the speed of dripstone production quite significantly over some of the smaller farms that use more resources. Everything you need to make this farm is inside this chest. The first 2 rows are what is needed for the farm, the size of the farm that I've made it. And remember, you can make it smaller or add to it later. We've got all of these items across here. We've got a couple of stacks of glass, about 3 stacks of structural blocks. Doesn't matter what structural blocks you use, you can mix it up, maybe put some oak log in there, and 1 single trap door. These items across the bottom are decorative. This is for the roof. They're just slabs. You can choose any slab you like, and you don't have to put a roof on as long as you do light it up. I put bushes in there because bushes makes everything look good. This farm has a footprint 19 across and 7 down. I've just outlined that in stone brick there. Most of that is going to be glass. It's the outside of the farm. Where the dark blue stripes are, we are going to dig down 1 block, and where that orange stripe is, we're going to dig down 2 blocks. Let's crack on with it. So we've dug out those blue sections to 1 deep and that orange section to 2 deep. And then in this J out bit, we're going to put a double chest. We're then going to get a hopper and we're going to shift click hoppers into that chest all the way along, including that last one there. And then we're going to cover this over because we don't need those 3 hoppers in the middle to be exposed. We're then going to get a trapdoor and I'm going to shift click a trapdoor onto the top of that chest there and flap it up. That's brilliant. We're then going to get a water bucket, place a water bucket there, all the way along the other side, a water bucket there, a water bucket there, and finally a water bucket in this corner there. That water should run all the way to those hoppers, but not over those hoppers. Next, we're going to take all of our observers and come into the inside. We're going to put an observer, a row of 8, all the way along, just by where we have the water. Don't put an observer in there. And then we're going to do exactly the same on this side, facing inwards, all the way along the water, but again not where we have got that hopper. We're then going to repeat that on this side, and when we've done that, we're going to get a piston and we're going to place the piston on top of each observer. So a row of 8 there, on top of those observers a row of 8 there, and again repeat that along this part. And then we're going to get redstone dust and we're going to run a redstone line entirely along the length of this farm, including the bit in the middle, all the way along to the end like that. So you should have a structure that looks a little bit like this. You've got redstone going all the way along the inside there into those observers. You can see where it splits out, and then a piston on top of each observer with the observer facing outwards. Very, very important. Then get another observer, and this bit in the middle here, face an observer downwards, looking at that bit of redstone. You can see there the redstone bum is facing right upwards, and then grab yourself a solid block. Doesn't matter what this block is because it's going to be hidden, and place a solid block behind each of the pistons. You'll see 1 row of solid blocks hits both of those pistons, and then along the length of the entire line, including over that observer's bum, come along with another line of redstone, exactly like that. And then we're going to put a 2 high wall of whatever structural block you would like, is entirely up to you, on top of each of the pistons on both sides. And I do this purely for decoration, but I'm going to place, including on top of that hopper there, a shift click and put in some wood all the way to the top. I'm using oak logs, but you could just put blocks. It's entirely up to you. You don't have to use those logs. It is decorative. It is not functional. I'm also going to place a log up the side of that and a log up the side of this as well. Now, this is a redstone circuit, so what's really important with this redstone circuit is that you put a little bit of light in there. So just lob a few torches, doesn't matter what. This is not to stop spawning, it's just to light up that redstone circuit, and it will reduce any lag that you might get. Lighting up your redstone circuits is especially important in a server, because if you imagine, you might not produce a lot of lag on your own, but if everybody was doing it at the same time, lots of redstone circuits flashing away, causing light updates over time and across a lot of players, that can make a big difference. Next up, grab yourself a dripstone block and place a dripstone block on each of these positions. Again, miss out that middle one, just don't waste a dripstone block, there's no need. Do that on both sides, and then what we're going to do is place a pointed dripstone onto each of those. Again, if you've not got enough pointed dripstone, this farm will give you some and you can load it up afterwards. We're then going to line up with some structural block on both sides there and then come along the other side. Once you've got that done on both sides, or in as many places along both sides as you can, place a structural block there and a structural block coming up both of these sides. Now, you could do this in glass if you wish. It is entirely up to you. These are kind of decorative. As long as you've got blocks here, it doesn't really matter what you're going to use. I'm then going to come around the outside with a solid structural block on this side, and we're going to place a wall of glass 3 high across the entire farm, and I'm going to do that on both sides. I am, however, and this is purely aesthetic, going to place a lantern inside there in front of that wooden log just to put a bit of light inside. There isn't anywhere that could spawn, but I just fancy having light in there. Now, at this point, your dripstone will look like it's starting to drip. However, there is no water above it, so they are not going to grow. You need to place another row all the way around the top here, and you're going to create a tray over each dripstone block section. So like this, cover it all over. And then we're going to place a bucket of water every 2, because we need a water source block above each block. So place a bucket of water there, a bucket of water there. That will create a source block there, which you can then collect, and then you can keep coming along, and every 2 you can place a water bucket to make sure that you've got a water source block along each one. You then want to cover this section up as well. You don't need to be able to see that, and then repeat that same trough on this side. Now, that farm is officially working now, but it will take a long time. Whilst you're waiting, you can put a roof on top of this. Again, this is purely decorative. It is not essential in any way, shape or form, although do be aware that this roof is spawnable. So if you're not going to put a roof on it out of slabs that won't be spawnable, do light it up so you don't end up getting surprised by a skeleton or a creeper dropping on your head when you're collecting your dripstone. So maybe whilst you're waiting for your first dripstones to grow and then come into your collection system, you might want to just decorate it up. Bushes are good, or any other lanterns, or anything at all. Maybe you want to put some stairs in to make that edge look a little bit nicer. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to decorate this up whilst the dripstones are growing. We've jazzed it up a little bit now with bushes and steps, and this is entirely optional. You don't have to do this. The dripstones are already growing on both sides, and because we've got 32 stations, it's growing at a 32 times faster chance than if you just had a single station going. So hopefully we should be able to get some dripstones if we do an hour-long test, which is exactly what we're going to do now. Just check that we've got nothing in the chest at the moment. Let's leave it an hour and see what happens. That has been about an hour and 15 minutes. I'm quite interested to see what's in this chest. It's not going to be loads because this is a really slow farm, you can see. But we've had, definitely the growth has gone because they're all one level. So we've got something in here. What we've got? 23. Okay, so it takes 15 minutes to prime probably. So in an hour, we've got 23 pointed dripstone in our collection chamber. Now remember, the idea of this farm is that you collect this dripstone over time whilst you're going about your business doing other stuff. Perhaps put these in your spawn chunks and then they'll be running even when you're not close by. And you'll be pleased to know that this one works in Bedrock too. Before you know it, you'll have absolutely loads of dripstone, more than you could possibly cope with, and you'll be making mob kill chambers out of it and really beautiful aesthetic builds too, I have absolutely no doubt. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you enjoyed them, and I will keep on making. Also, if you've not done already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.